to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Guns, self-defense, conceal carry. This is the Patriot Defense Podcast. From the war room in Idaho's high desert, here's your host, Todd Eccles.
We're back. It is Saturday night, and once again, we are tucked away in the war room somewhere in the high desert of southern Idaho. Tonight, I have Mark, I have Eric, and we have Mr. Tarver.
The sultry Mr. Tarver.
We have Mr. Boudin Balls. He's my Boudin Ball supplier.
I have defended that now. You can no longer laugh at the Boudin Balls.
Oh, man. They're like heaven.
Heaven in a ball form.
Whoa, that's the wrong podcast. I'm not sure what you do over there in Gooding, but you can just keep it over there.
Good stuff, man. You'll keep snacking.
They're very good.
So now, from now on, nobody can make fun of
the Boudin.
Oh, I will never
Boudin
again.
Balls.
I was always a believer.
They are so good.
You don't realize what you're missing here, just being a southern Idaho boy. You miss out on the fine cuisine.
We're missing the Boudin.
We
the
got
fine
Rocky Mountain
cuisines
oysters.
of the other states,
We got Rocky Mountain oysters. They got Boudin balls down south.
Oh, I love Rocky Mountain oysters.
That's the best part of a branding.
Kansas, you have what they call Oklahoma squirrel patties, but
I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, those
Oklahoma
are good too.
Squirrel patties.
That's pretty scary.
They're starting a squirrel hunting season here in Idaho this year.
Didn't
There's
they
squirrels
already
here?
have that?
But there's a certain type of squirrel.
The whistle pigs up in Emmett, Jim County.
No, I think they're talking like tree squirrels.
Like tree squirrels.
Great tree squirrel's pretty good.
Yeah.
Wrapped it in bacon, barbecued one.
Everything wrapped in bacon. It's damn good. Everything. I wrapped a sweet potato in bacon the other day. Oh, they're already up there.
Yeah,
Peter's in, and
All right.
we're food
like
podcast.
it.
I just want to
That's
say
the
really
Patriot
quick
Defense,
now that I see
home
Peter.
cooking show.
What's up,
Peter
Peter?
Peter
Add a
gave
little
me some
butter.
coffee today, and I am grateful for that. That's awesome. I love coffee.
Yeah, Peter
Black
was in
Rifle
class
coffee.
today. We waited just long enough for him to get home so we could fire this up so he could watch it all the way over. I think he lives in Kimberly or somewhere.
Hanson, Kimberly, something.
Yeah. So, anyhow, let's get back to this.
Yeah.
What have you done that was Second Amendment related, sir?
I work at a gun counter, and then also today we did another successful Patriot Defense permit class.
Oh, it was fun too.
It was a pretty good class.
How many people did you have today?
I know how many people I was supposed to have. Now I was supposed to have about 30 people, but everyone's been kind of sick, and so there's some people that had to step in and go to work because people were sick and whatnot. So we ended up with about 21, which some of these classes I schedule far out.
Right.
And when you schedule that far out, you tend to lose a handful. That's kind of why I go. Sometimes I'll even schedule up to 35 people just because I know there's about 4 or 5 that won't show up.
What's your happiest range?
Happiest as far as happy, like
Group
not
size.
not as stressful, or group size as money.
Right.
I mean, what are you after? So a perfect class depends on the range I'm using, but I'm going to say it's anywhere between 10 to 15 people. That's like a perfect class size. 20s, no problem. I mean, today goes. So it depends on how many lanes you have. So on the indoor range, I have 10 lanes. So if you've got 12 people, you might as well have 20 people because you're already going to have 2 groups shooting at the same time anyway, or not at the same time. But you have 2 groups anyway. To what's 8 more? It's not. They're already there. You're doing it. So
And there's 3 of you on the range?
yes, we have 3 people. Well, I used to only have 2. Now we have 3, and 3's working out really nice. It keeps things moving just a little bit smoother. I think it's like if I can get 3 people, it's great. I can do it with 2. Me and one other person. If we have a total of 3, it's that much nicer.
It seems to go pretty smooth with 3.
It does because you got one person on each end, one person in the middle, and you're just cycling people through. It's I don't know. It's a good number.
Does the range supply somebody to work with you or just Patriot Defense
no.
employees?
The range doesn't supply me anything but a key.
Got it.
So, yeah, no. The range I use over there, I got a key, I open it up, I turn on the heat myself, and we do the shooting portion, and I try not to piss off the snooker players that show up, and other than that, that's what it is. It's all me, man. They leave me alone as long as I send them money every month. They're happy. They're happy campers. So what about you? What have you done the Second Amendment related?
Oh, where do I start? Done all sorts of stuff. I sent my 19X off, my 19 Glock 19x, the most wonderful gun
You had to
in
send
the
it
world.
off? Why did you have to send it off?
Because the trigger's bad.
No, the trigger's great on that one. No, I sent it off to get the barrel ported.
Why? Is it too much for you?
Well, I want to keep it shooting level. No, it's my Gucci Glock. Are you kidding me? It's going to be $1,000 Glock by the time I'm
Good.
done.
Why would you spend that much on it?
No,
dude, it's Cadillac gold.
it's beautiful.
Oh, it's freaking gross.
Yeah, it's military tough color.
No, it's it looks like bad 80s Cadillacs.
Oh man, you shot it. You know you liked it.
When you pull that thing out to shoot it, your chains fall out of your shirt. You're freaking ready to go.
Wow, so much hatred on Glock.
I've been saving it up for a while.
Oh, you don't save it up; it leaks out a little bit on each podcast.
But it's better. It's better when you're here.
Hashtag Glock hate.
That's right. That's what I need to start doing. So anyhow, I'm sorry. Go
No,
on.
so sent the Glock off, getting the barrel ported, having some.
You're wasting money on your Glock, yes?
No, doing some horse trading on it, so it's not
Okay.
going to cost me anything.
Wow, who you got to trade? Well, we got to talk.
I've got the connection.
You got a guy that can do all that?
Yes, I do. So did that, and then took my oldest boy out to the range today.
Right.
Worked on some gun safety and let him shoot a couple different guns, and I was kind of surprised. He had a misfire, and he didn't flinch. I was really happy with that.
Oh, nice.
I watched him through the whole entire thing, squeeze the trigger nice and slow, and it just stopped. And it's like, wow, he didn't even flinch. It was great.
I love doing that in class, watching people when they're shooting and they're out of ammo and they don't think they are, and then they
yeah.
they
Oh yeah.
I don't know why those shots are dropping. I'm like,
What was he shooting?
We were shooting SKS and an AR-15. Yeah. So we drug an old lawnmower out to the shooting range. Old riding lawnmower, and I just let him go to town on it. It was a kick in the pants.
Nice. That's the range at your house.
Yeah, range of my house.
So you would never haul garbage out to a range?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm just
Don't
double
get me
checking.
on that rant.
I'm just checking.
Not one that has cameras anyway.
No. I've got my own 100-yard range. So
Good grief, I don't have a range, man.
You
there
said
you
you
go.
were getting. Never mind.
I got a trap range set up.
I got a backyard
And a suppressor
and a fence.
and some cats. So.
Not anymore.
Not really.
They didn't last long. So what have you been up to, sir?
I got to test out the performance center. What is it? I never know.
Yeah.
I never remember the names. of anything.
SW22 Victory.
You own
Good
it. Everyone
grief.
else knows the name, but you have no idea.
I have decided long ago that the minor details like that I did not care about, and amazingly, I stopped remembering it, and now I can't. It just doesn't matter to me. But anyway, I got to test it out. Got to
Old
test out
age
my Gym
sucks.
Tech. By the way, if you have a Gym Tech, what is that? 2D, 1D, and a 1. If you have one of those right now, they have a replacement program where you can get rid of all these baffles and get a one-piece unit to put in there, which is very nice for cleaning and everything. Although they still charge you $250. Come on, Gym Tech.
Well, they won't be a sponsor anytime soon. Hashtag Gym Tech.
It's a great suppressor, though. You got to shoot.
I need to start.
They are.
I need to start hashtagging all these people.
Oh yeah.
I wish they would have stayed in Idaho, but
Where did they go?
well, once Smith bought them out, they shut the plant here down.
So where are they at?
I think they're back in Massachusetts.
I was wondering why that was.
Yeah, I think they're back with Smith in Massachusetts somewhere. So.
Oh, great.
Didn't they
So I
used
was
to
going
be
to
in
drive up
Meridian?
there and just give it
Yeah,
to
they
them.
were up in Eagle, actually, I think
Eagle?
is where they were. But yeah, Smith bought them out. And
Are there any other local firearms suppliers or companies in Idaho?
oh, there's lots.
I know that there used to be a.
There's like Odin Works, there's PWS, there's
Wasn't there
Seekins
a-
Precision,
ammo manufacturer in Payette County.
CCI up in
up north.
Norriston. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So we're ready.
We're pretty.
Oh, yeah.
friendly
We're
state.
ready.
Yeah.
Freedom
We got-
Munitions is up there.
Night Force Optics is out of Orofino.
Yeah.
They still there?
Yeah, it's like, I think so.
There's some smaller gun stores up, like smaller gun manufacturers up toward like Wyoming. I forget the name of them. I've seen them up there.
Men 2 magazines is out of
Yeah.
Idaho Falls.
Gun friendly state.
Yeah.
We got an F. I love it.
So when the Civil War kicks off, we all right.
I'm headed to the war room. I'm going to podcast the Civil War live.
Good
from the
morning,
war room.
Idaho.
That's right. That's right. So, you have any thoughts from behind the gun counter?
Whoa, hold on. Wait
Whoa.
a minute.
Whoa.
Oh,
Todd, what have you done that's Second Amendment
That's right.
related?
Oh, so you're trying to dodge the bullet.
Yeah.
I was
No
at
pun
a-
intended.
I did the class. We talked about the class. That
Right.
was my big deal, right?
Okay. So what happened at the class today? Or do you want to just...
We shot guns. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
That'll be... I mean, you're messing up our
I'm
flow.
sorry. I'm messing up the flow.
What have you
I'm
done
jumping ahead.
personally
What have I done
for yourself or your family?
I bought some ammo.
Hey, there we go. Oh, I have
just
been
a little
researching ammo.
I looked up some videos on my PD10.
And you just test fired the
And I test
Smith &
fired
Wesson.
Smith & Wesson. For the business wise, though, I checked on. We got a big order of shirts. They are being made. They just aren't here yet. That's about it. It's just been kind of work. I need spring to come motivate me. I need the warm weather to come motivate me. I got big plans. I think I stopped by and talked to you about the plans for the range.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of stuff we're going to do to the range. It's just I need the snow to go away.
Yeah.
I need the ground to dry out a little bit. And we're going to make some big improvements out here. Or I'm going to make some big improvements. You guys can come over and enjoy the big improvements.
I'll help.
I'm planting grass.
I'll wait till it's done.
You know what? As long as you bring bushels full of Boudin balls, you can do whatever the hell you want, Mr.
Oh
Tarver.
my gosh. Those things are so good.
There's one left.
I can't. I simply can't.
I might
Everybody-
be able to. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to get it a little while. I'll
Don't
stab
leave
your
it-
hand.
Don't leave it there.
I'll freaking
It's
stab.
tempting.
I'm going to stab your hand.
It's like a Mexican standoff. Yeah.
That's right.
Who's
So,
going for it?
thoughts from behind the gun counter.
Oh man, I gotta admit I wasn't prepared for that one. I didn't.
What? You worked at a gun counter all week.
I know, but I just kind of like zoned out this week because we're doing all the banquet guns from the SFW. With old Uncle
That's what I
Ted,
did.
Uncle
Sorry.
Ted and the
Yeah, man,
Nuge or whatever you want to call it.
Everybody's on a Boudin high.
So they had Ted Nugent at the banquet and
Yeah, Sports for Fish and Wildlife
right,
banquet.
and we did the guns for it, and it's been an exhausting week. All the people that won guns are just coming in and picking them up, and we got to sit there and run background check after background check after, and they all show up at the same time. It never fails.
I didn't win any,
It's rigged, man.
and that upsets me.
It's rigged, man.
So anyway, that's what that's what I was dealing with all week. So
Have you seen a lot of the gift cards get returned for guns?
most all of them, yeah. It's surprising because they can use it on anything in the store. I mean, if they don't necessarily need a gun, they want a chainsaw or something else, even boots. Buy some new cowboy boots or something. But
What you should get is a chainsaw adapter.
There you
Fits
go.
on
you
the
go.
end of your
Yeah.
AR.
Yeah.
a lot of people are upgrading though. The sponsor gun was the Ruger American 6.5 Creedmoor Predator.
Right.
And that was what the gift card was for. It was the exact price for the gun. But they could use that to upgrade to
Tactical chicken
any
feed.
kind of gun they wanted, or tactical chicken feed. Yeah.
Yes.
um,
It's necessary.
and a lot of people did. A lot of people actually upgraded to a different gun. So
How much are those chainsaws?
I don't know.
You think that's a joke? I would totally buy one of those.
We know you would, Tarver. We've seen
That's
some
just
of
so
your collection.
ridiculous. I would buy it. It's like
We've seen
Okay.
some of your collection.
I'd do it, man.
If you did it, we'd make a video and post it on YouTube for the podcast.
Tesla's got a flamethrower.
I know that thing's cool.
Okay, all right. Sorry,
Okay.
go ahead. Anyway,
Oh,
behind the
that
gun
was,
count.
No, that was.
So what?
I don't know.
What have you seen today? What did you see today at class? Because every time we do a class,
Mm-hmm.
we see something. Someone does something, right?
Right.
What today? And I know what you're going to say, but I want to hear it from you. What today stood out? What did you see today that stood out to you?
There was kind of two things, but one obviously was the slide bite.
Oh yes,
Um,
that lady bled
That's
all
the
over the
second
range.
time, and it's always the one that's
Everywhere.
that I'm watching that gets the slide by, and she was doing fine like the whole class.
It was
And then
like
all
the
of a
last
sudden-
3 rounds or something.
All of a sudden, out of nowhere, she switches her grip, and it's like the one time that I'm looking at one of the other people, and just wham, and then I look right back over, and she's bleeding all over the place. She didn't stop. She kept shooting.
Trooper.
She's tough.
Okay, what was she shooting?
Ruger LC9S.
Oh.
And it wasn't just a little nick. It was honestly,
Yeah.
I'm no doctor, but I looked at it and I'm going, God, that could almost, if she would have gone to the doctors or the hospital, they probably would have put a stitch or two in it.
Yeah.
To be honest with
I
you.
mean, there was
by the
blood.
time she put a Band-Aid
Yeah.
on it, by the time she's done, they're going to not do it because it's going to be closed up, but they probably would have put a stitch
There
in
was
there.
blood on her magazine, on her gun.
It was
on-
deep, and
It was everywhere.
it was like a horseshoe shaped. It was,
Oh.
dude, it
Good
was,
grief, she got the
Ooh.
whole
dude,
thing.
she got the
Yeah.
whole thing, and it was probably like this wide. I mean, it was It was
It's
just
crazy.
That
I
would
don't
be an
know.
inch, you're sure.
I just don't get what
It hurt.
possesses people. Like she did fine, and it was like you said, the last 3 rounds.
I think it's
The
because
whole
they're getting
class, she was fine.
they're getting relaxed.
Yeah,
It's towards
wrapping
the
it
end.
up.
That and they're
She's
getting
used to shooting
fatigued.
revolvers. What?
Getting fatigued.
Fatigued.
Yeah.
She wasn't thinking, and it bit her so
It
hard.
did.
Like this, is the hardest I've ever seen.
I noticed
Yeah, that
it.
sounds crazy.
I mean, I noticed it right away, and I'm like, I'm wondering if she knew she was bleeding because she just kept going. I mean, but
Wow. Trooper.
Yeah, she didn't want a Band-Aid either. I had to dig up some Band-Aids and freaking wrapped her thumb in Band-Aids, and it was a mess.
Huh.
But no, she was cool though. She was a cool lady. She actually at the end of class, she brought out a couple of revolvers. She had a matching set of 45 long Colt that she shoots when she used to do her mounted shooting.
Single
Really?
actions?
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
they had the Beretta emblem on them, but I'm pretty sure they were Uberti or whatever
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
their replica.
But they were
knockoff
cool,
is.
man. They were freaking cool. See, I got some.
Oh, yeah. 45 long Colt's fun. I had a 454 Casal that I used to shoot the 45 long Colts
yeah.
out of.
I can't find decent 45 long coat rounds. They're all like,
Cowboy action style.
yeah, I got an Evil Roy. Love that gun.
yeah,
You talk about butter. Oh, man.
yeah.
Have you ever worked the action on that thing?
Those Evil Roys are pretty cool.
Anyway. Yeah, you can't find no good rounds for it. Not 45 long coat. At least I can't.
Speaking of different calibers, we also had 2 more 10 millimeters in class today.
Ooh.
So in what, a month, in 4 weeks' time, I've had more 10 millimeters in my class than I have
Yeah.
in the last 5-6 years.
Were they Springfields?
The one last class was. The one today was one was a 1911 style, and the other one was the G20.
Ooh, I'm not up on my 10
It's a
millimeters
Glock.
for Glocks.
Was
Yeah.
it a 20 or
The
22?
full size was it full size?
Yep.
I didn't see it, but yeah, it's a G20.
Okay, G20. So yeah, they were belting them out over there. Interesting thing though, they shot them the last guy that brought the Springfield. He shot 20 rounds. They shot the full 98 rounds, and you could see them getting totally fatigued, totally wore out because their shots really started to, and you could tell they're getting fatigued because then they started bringing that finger out, putting it on the trigger guard to like steady it. And I was like, you guys are getting just that crap beat out of you.
I don't like that round's getting popular.
It really is getting popular. Our buddy just picked one up in Springfield. He loves it. He thinks it's great, but he shoots 40s too.
I
So-
told you though. I told you the 40s bye-bye.
No.
Yeah. 40s bye-bye.
no,
I had 140 in class, and I had 2 10 millimeters. Come on, 40's dead.
I carry my 40 with me every day.
40 is dead.
No, it's not the flavor of the month.
40
I tell you
is
what's going to happen to
dead
10
for
millimeter.
people, those who are in the know. You're just not in the know.
You know what? Actually, I had a discussion.
You're not in the club.
That's right.
I had
The
a discussion
840s.
with a lady today who has a shield and a 40. And I asked her, I said, why are you carrying a 40?
He's got like 4.
Yeah, well, I asked her. And she's like, well, my family wouldn't let me carry anything smaller. They want me to shoot revolvers. I was like, ooh. And she's like, I want to shoot the 9mm, but everybody wants me to carry a 40.
Why
It's
does her
like,
family make her gun choices for her?
Exactly. And I had a discussion about it and my wife kind of stepped in because my wife's got her
Divorce
XDS
my family.
in a 9. And tell you what, she was sticking firm to that 40. I've never seen her shoot, but I'd be curious to hand her
I want
a
to see her.
9mm.
I want to see her shoot.
I'd be curious to hand her a 9mm and see how she does.
Right.
I tell you what's going to happen with that 10 millimeter. There's a lot of people starting to carry it. Somebody's going to shoot. It's going to over penetrate. Go pop somebody else,
Ooh,
and it's going to be trouble.
I don't use a pistol for home defense. I use a shotgun
Yeah, but I'm saying
for
the
that
people,
reason,
for that reason.
the more and more
Yeah,
people that
that's-
are carrying them,
we kind of dabbled in that last
It's
time,
gonna happen.
last episode.
that's
Right.
too much.
And it is a little over,
Penetration.
Yeah.
Pistol round is over does over penetrate.
Especially if you have somebody cheaping out and buying Full Metal Jackets.
People do.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
So, getting back to the class,
Yes.
the second thing that I saw today was when you call cold range.
Oh my
We're
God.
going
Again.
here. We're going here.
Second class in a row.
Yeah, call cold range, and somebody always walks up to the table and wants to fiddle around with stuff.
Always.
And I don't know if they don't know the concept of cold range.
Well, this dude was packing his gun around with him.
No, I mean, the class was over and people were getting
Cold
their
range,
targets.
go get your targets. When everyone's back, then you can gather your stuff.
Yeah, this guy grabs his gun and he's walking all over the place with it. He's just walking everywhere with his gun.
And he was a 10 millimeter shooter.
Well, I'm not advocating.
No, I know. I'm just giving you. But no, yeah, he was walking around with it in his hand, and without giving away too much, because I don't know who listened to this podcast. At this point, they know who they are if they listen. The dude was like a gun, I think he does hunter safety for kids, and he's breaking these laws. They're gun range laws, pretty much.
Right.
But he's breaking the basic gun range rules. It's just.
People get overconfident and they get sloppy. They don't listen to the safety.
They get stupid and they think they know it all. That's the
it's
route
like-
I'm going to go.
I think what you're trying to say is that they're not practicing what they're preaching.
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
I tell you what,
Yeah.
my boy got banned from his BB gun for a week because he brought it in hot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he was very upset. And now when we come in from the range, he ensures and shows me everything is clear.
There you go.
But I'm starting it young, so it becomes a habit.
Sure.
That's what my dad did with me.
Sure.
He took anytime I want to see a gun, no problem. We'll take it out of the safe. We'll look it over. I'll show you, take it apart. But it got ingrained from early on. And I
Right.
think that's big.
It is. I
think
wish
it's
someone
huge.
would have told me not to play with knives.
Yeah. I told you last episode. No, I just find it's always funny that the one that you think should be the safest is usually not.
Well, you'd think. Yeah.
Right.
Pretty interesting stuff. So, anything else from class? Anything?
I don't know. I mean, there's a couple people. Peter was there. I think Peter did pretty good.
Peter was shooting his new to him, brand new. He just bought it, his M&P 2.0.
Yeah.
And Peter got smart. Peter bought a 9mm.
Yeah.
Peter enjoyed
Well,
shooting
I think
his
he has a
9mm.
45. I think he has a 45
He does.
as well.
He took that in another class. He
Right.
had.
Well, what does that mean? Oh, yeah.
So
Like a disclaimer you got to,
I've got a story.
Uh-oh.
We got a story. We're keeping all names and locations secret to protect the innocent.
And certain identities have been disguised.
There we go. That's right. So I was told the story throughout the week. This gentleman he has a business, and it's not that he did anything wrong. It's that the question I have for you guys and for listeners or people watching the podcast on Facebook Live, maybe they can answer it. Give me their thoughts on it, because I know what I was always taught. So he was at a business. He was there with a couple other people. It was toward the end of the day. He said a truck pulled up to his business, backed up to his business, backed up to the front door.
What kind of business?
You probably better not say.
Yeah, that's what has to remain.
Taco stand. Okay.
Okay,
Sure.
taco
Yeah,
stand.
taco
Yeah.
stand.
Anyhow, backed up to the store, and he says no one got out of this truck for a while. They just sat there, and they were watching, thinking this is really weird. And they saw this guy get out. He was fumbling around with something, and he got out. And he had a hoodie on, and he had it pulled up over his head, and he had it sucked really tight. And he noticed he had like a bandana thing around his neck.
Oh, that's not. That's
Yeah.
not suspicious at all.
And he walks up.
Hello, neighbor.
He walks up to the front door of this business, and he goes to pull the bandana up over his face. Right before he walks in the door, he pulls the bandana up over his face so just his eyes are showing. And he opens the door to walk in, and this guy sees this, and he runs over to like the side of the door, kind of to surprise the guy, and he draws his gun because he goes, this guy's fixing to freaking rob us. And the guy walks in, and this guy pulls his gun out and aims it at the guy and starts screaming at him, take the mask off, take the mask off. What are you blankety blank doing? And the guy says, well, chill, man. It was cold outside. And he pulls his mask off. And someone that they supposedly had been to that business establishment before, and he walked around and he bought some stuff and he left. So my question for you is, it sounds to me like he was fixing to get robbed or something that was going to happen there. It's just too weird. If you have to honestly draw your gun, you're standing next to a door, you have to draw your gun and pretty much drill it into the side of that guy's head and scream at him to take a mask off. And then he takes the mask off and says, "Oh, it's all good." Do you really just reholster your firearm and go?
No, get out.
Well, don't you make a phone? Even if it
Get
ends
out
up
or
not,
get down.
even if it let's say for some weird reason, the guy went and he did buy some stuff. Shouldn't you call law enforcement?
Yeah, of course.
You just had to dial a gun into the side of a guy's freaking head. Why wouldn't you call somebody?
Yes.
Well, my question is, how long were they watching this? And if it
we
was a
don't know.
suspicious
I don't
person,
know.
lock the door.
Yeah.
Call the cops.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess the point I'm trying to make is if you have to draw your firearm and actually aim it at someone, whether or not something happens or not, you should probably call law enforcement and let them know what happened. At the very least,
Unless he thought he was in the wrong when it was over.
yeah, I don't know.
Well.
If you have to draw your firearm, like you're in a dark parking lot, something happens, you draw your firearm, you defend yourself with it, you don't fire a shot, that person runs away, there's no harm, no foul, you should still probably call law enforcement because you kind of want to be the first phone call in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my understanding. You want to be the first phone call in. So this guy doesn't call the police that you scared away and say, well, some crazy idiot in the freaking parking lot just pointed their gun at me.
Yeah. That, or I'll say this is
Protect someone else.
Exactly. What if he runs down the road and tries to get in somebody's
Right.
grandma's house?
Right.
At least you let them know what they look like,
Sure.
which way they went,
Right.
and then let them investigate it.
But I don't know, that whole store thing, and you got to either it was it happened and it was embellished a little bit, or I think he should have called law enforcement.
Yep.
He probably got afraid he was overreacting once it was over. It's like, oh, crap.
That could have been
But
it too. But
I mean,
don't
at the
know.
same time, and I know who you're referring to, but it's the person with the bandana. I don't know. You would think that they should know.
Something was going on there.
Don't pull your bandana up over your face.
Because he said he walked up to the front door, he stopped, pulled the bandana up.
That's a little. I mean, you
Walked
can't
into the
tell me
building.
that's not suspicious. I mean,
Yeah,
You
something
can't-
was going on
Yeah,
there.
you can't yell fire in a crowded theater.
I mean,
You do certain jokes. Some people, I don't know who, you might get shot.
Yeah.
You
Given
might
the-
get shot right away.
Oh,
given
yeah.
the store that it was at too, that's very suspicious to me.
The location of the store and
Well,
yeah.
what they do there? I mean,
Right.
that's very suspicious, and I kind of see why he did what he did. I mean,
Well, I know I'm not saying he did. He was in the wrong. I'm
But
saying
should he have called
law
yeah.
enforcement? I probably
I
done the
think
same
so.
thing.
but
But hindsight's 20/20. We don't know what was going through his head at the time.
right,
Stuff happens. I know. And
well, afterwards when he actually recognized the guy or whatever, maybe I don't know, but the guy ended up buying some stuff.
sure.
Crisis averted type thing. He probably
The guy
didn't feel-
stayed and purchased something?
Yeah.
probably
Wow.
didn't feel that he needed to call law enforcement at that point.
Yeah, he probably got afraid that he might have overstepped. But I would have called law enforcement. I said, "Look, not until you get searched. I want to see what you carrying, because this sounds too much like a dry run or testing
Well, that
to
could
see what
be
you're
what
going to
happened.
do."
Yeah.
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 I'm
Yeah,
like,
that could
nah,
be too.
brother.
And
Don't come back.
I
if
will
you don't
give him
have it.
the benefit of the doubt, though. You don't know what's going through his mind at the time. It could have happened just like that. Your adrenaline's up. You just don't know.
Right.
I mean, I've had to draw I didn't point it, but I've had to draw my firearm, and I'll tell you what, you're not thinking sometimes. You're just not. You're
Well, it's your
not
business.
thinking, you're reacting.
Yeah.
It's this guy's business too. I mean,
You're right.
he's like, that might not go over too well in the papers.
That's
You go in this store, they're going to pull guns on you, man.
That's true. That's true.
So yeah, I don't know.
So
We
here's
need a legal opinion on that.
yeah, we don't have him. I have my legal opinion.
Yeah.
I can get an attorney to come on this show.
By the way, you had a podcast with a.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we need to talk
State-
about that. But you need to get your attorney on. I got some questions for them.
I got a couple of attorneys I can get on. I'll have to play around with that. But so I was kind of jumping ship. We bounce around all over the place here. So I did my podcast midweek. I did one of my short podcasts.
Right.
It's about 30 minutes, which is about what I think I want, 20 to 30 minutes. And I would love to do one every week. And so I might actually try to start doing one every week, whether it's an interview or just me ranting about something that happens. I can do that. I can do that with the best of them. I may do that. I don't know. I know I listen to some other podcasts, and they have little ones during the week, and I really kind of enjoy that. Kind of tide you over till the next big show.
Oh yeah, you get an addiction. You need that.
You need that.
You need it.
You need it. You need to hear from Todd. Yes.
The wisdom of
Can we get Tarver to get his own? Because
Oh, Tarver.
if he starts telling a story, I'm like
Freaking
fully,
Tarver.
I'm fully intrigued.
I'm going to tell you, you don't even realize how much you are loved on the podcast. People talk about
What?
He's told me he's been here the last couple weeks at the gun counter.
Yeah.
People have been coming in, and they're like, "Oh my God, Tarver was on the podcast again."
They're just after the Boudin.
They absolutely love you.
Huh?
You got like your own fan base.
It's true. I mean, I'm not
serious.
I'm not making that up. People have talked about you.
Damn. People are talking about me.
How does that make you feel?
I don't
deep
know.
down?
I don't know.
It's like a love-hate thing.
Just a po' boy from Louisiana.
Just a poor boy from backwater.
So, oh man. So
I
here's
forgot. Wait a minute. You kind of lost me there. What was you talking about right before? You talking about your mini podcast?
Oh yeah, sorry, we got a for the
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of threw me off when you said
a
that.
the little mini podcast, midweek podcast. So I think I'm gonna start trying to do that. I don't know if it's gonna be. It won't, like I said, it won't be an interview every time, but I might try to maybe prime everyone for like the next podcast or
Reaching out
reaching out
to individuals that are in elected offices
Yes.
like you did. That was awesome.
Did that sound? I didn't
Yeah.
get a chance to listen to it. Did that one sound good?
I haven't heard it yet, so
Yeah, no, it was great.
I didn't listen to it.
You didn't either.
I did.
It was great. It had a lot of information.
Could you hear him? Could you understand
Yeah.
what he was saying?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know he was driving, so it was with the hands free.
No,
so
it was fine.
when I hear it, it's different than if that makes any sense.
It's nice to hear. Well, you're getting the inside track from somebody who's actually making the legislation. I'm like, that's nice.
What an awesome bill that is. So he doesn't have the bill number yet, but he sounds like he's pushing it through, and it sounds like he's getting a lot of support. It's that school carry bill where if you have the Idaho enhanced permit, you can carry in public schools K through 12. That's fantastic.
Yep.
There's a couple of hurdles and stuff that they're working out with some wording, and he's working with like Alex Kincaid, who's that Second Amendment attorney up there, and he's working with some other people. But that would be phenomenal if they could get that pushed through. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, you put out a story also where they're priming the public for the red flag law in Idaho.
They are, and let's talk about that.
Magic
See, I knew
Valley.
this
What is the
thing.
name of that
I knew-
magazine? What
Marcy's
It
Law.
would pan out. Yeah, Marcy's Law. Yep.
Marcy's Law, and I
No, the Magic Valley, the article you sent out, straight up asking for red flag law.
Oh, that was Magic Valley Times.
Yeah,
Or the Times
commies.
News, the Magic Valley
Anyway, go ahead.
opinion section. But they were talking about this Marcy's Law. So what Marcy's Law is, I don't even exactly know what it is. It's not set up to be like a red flag law. But have you heard about this?
No.
So
It's not set up that way, but that's exactly what's going to happen.
that's exactly what I think it's going to be. It's on the backside. So what it pretty much says is they can. It's like I don't even. have
Is that the one where if somebody says, "Hey, that something's wrong with that guy"?
That's a red flag law.
Okay,
That's the red
got it.
flag law. This Marcy's Law is to protect witnesses or protect the people who are accusing or victims, supposed victims from. So what it is set up as, there's the wording is not pure. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
On purpose. They're not stupid.
On purpose. It's very, very vague. And so what it opens itself up to is if, for example, okay, I'm not making light of this crime by any means, but I'm going to use. I read an article the other day that said about anywhere from 40 to 50% of men that are accused of rape are actually innocent. Okay, that's a crime that women can't accuse men of, and it's whatever. So if you got this guy, he's accused of rape, he's going through a trial, but he's not convicted, he's not arrested, he's not in jail, he hasn't been convicted, and it turns out he's innocent, but we don't know that yet. And they go, well, she's in fear for her life. This guy is he's being tried for this. He's not convicted. He worries us. We're going to go in and take his firearms. So now you've taken your firearms from this guy. Ends up he's innocent. You still don't know that yet. She's got family members that are upset about this, so they come and they possibly attack him. The dude can't even defend himself.
So that's that guilty until proven innocent thing.
Yeah. And that's kind of what this is on the backside, but it doesn't come right out and say that, but it's vague enough.
I just hate that. I hate the stupidity. That's just straight out a move on guns.
Right.
Because when you're
It's backdoor red flag.
Yeah, you get in some situations like, well, they don't care if people get killed. They just don't want to see them get killed with guns.
Right.
If you go smoke somebody upside the head with a baseball bat, hey, it's all good. We can't do nothing about baseball bats. They'll tell you that.
It's the gun thing.
It's the gun. And I'm like, you let somebody get angry enough in a situation like that, tensions are flaring, possibly a divorce type situation where, good God, there's a bunch of lies coming out on both sides.
So let's assume that the guy is innocent, but at this point he's guilty until proven innocent. Once he's deemed to be innocent, it's still going to be almost impossible for him to get those guns back.
Possibly, it's going to
be. And that's probably what's going to happen.
It's going to be a heck of a fight, I would say. So
it's going to cost him a fortune.
Yeah. So
and
I don't know.
May be destroyed. Benchmark.
Whether or not this law is actually going to be
bench-made.
Yeah, we can talk about that too. Whether or not that law is actually going to be enforced like that, but it's the fact that it's open up to it. The wording they can't give when you ask them about it, they can't give you a straight answer because they don't want to give you a straight answer because there isn't one. It's too vague. They want it vague for a reason because they want it open to that judge's interpretation at the time.
Is it restricting firearms or other aspects of life?
Right now, we're just focused on the firearms part of it. They can, but I don't know. We'd have to look at it because it doesn't actually come and say firearms, okay? But it's vague enough.
But
it's like they can do what they want.
Whatever, yeah.
Well, what are they confiscating? What are they taking from?
You'd have to read the article, man.
Weapons?
This is like legalese, but it's to do whatever they can to protect the supposed victim.
Oh, they're gonna have to lock him up.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's a pretty interesting law. But what I'm happy about is made such an uproar. The Magic Valley Opinion or the Times News or whatever it is came out and actually put that. People saw that. People ran with it. I posted a link to that on my Facebook page, Patriot Defense Facebook page. And dude, that was shared like probably 40 or 50 times off my page.
Wow.
So they didn't include they share it like they normally do, and they don't actually include the Patriot Defense in the top. But it shows how many times it was shared. People are awake. People are paying attention. They look at what happened to Washington State. They do not want us to end up like Washington State.
So it's our neighbors. They're right next door.
Well, and speaking of Washington State, there's 20 county sheriffs that are vowing not to uphold the new law thing, whatever they passed. Which 20, that's quite a few.
It is quite a few.
Man, you get one county that's got the right size, and that's quite a statement.
Yeah, it is. It is. But anyhow, people are awake. They're paying attention. That's what we want, okay? Even if they question it and it's not really what it is, the fact that they're looking at it going, well, this could possibly be used for this, and they're saying something, that's fantastic.
Especially now because Trump's in and people usually get lazy.
And they do.
They quit speaking out. You know?
But we're getting a weird, on the civil liberty side, we're getting a weird situation taking place. This whole Jussie Smollett.
Oh, yeah.
It was hilarious that it blew up in his face. But you got the chief of police out there giving his motive and what he did and why he did it and how he did it. And I'm like, dude, you want to wait for a trial there? Come on, man, ease up.
Yeah.
But it was still hilarious. But, yeah, we're getting in a funny situation where people are just guilty all of a sudden. It's like, pump the brakes a little bit.
Slow your roll.
Yeah, it's good. Well, it's funny that it happened to him because of the crap he pulled, and everybody knew it was fake from the beginning. This is American country. Nobody says that, all right? That don't happen. Yeah. Not only that, it's Chicago. Not only that, it's like 10 degrees below zero. Have you ever punched somebody in the cold? That hurts. You're not going to punch nobody in the cold.
Yeah.
That hurts your hand. So it was all fake and it was funny, but.
I mean, they could have at least bought the ski masks and the things
in different places.
In different places, not make it so obvious.
And not write checks. But anyway, the point is, it's funny that it's happening to him because he well deserves it. But, man, what if you were accused of something, went through the investigation, interrogation, whatever, just getting the evidence together, and they came out and did a press conference and just destroyed you.
Oh, the press will destroy it.
No, the chief came out.
You
there
have
and just
no
wiped
chance.
him out. I'm like, that's funny for him. I'd be crying if it was me.
Yeah.
Freaking crazy world that we're living in.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of more of that. You're guilty until you prove your innocence kind of thing. Let's take your guns. Everything's drifting that way. Anyway.
So any other news stories? You guys sent me some, but I didn't get a chance to actually take a look at them.
Well, we had a couple of them. We had 2 officer-involved shootings. One, what are you doing? What's going on here?
Hitting the Boudin ball.
Well, you can have it now. That nice filthy.
What? Just 'cause I've been playing with it all the time.
Here he goes.
We have one. Where was that at? The guy pulled a knife. That was Illinois, wasn't it? Pulled a knife on the officer.
I thought it was Arizona.
Oh, yeah, Arizona. Man, let me tell you something. You don't want to do that in Arizona.
Was that the one he called in claiming to be ISIS? And
I don't know. He had the beard, but it took they talked for like a minute, and then the guy real slow motion come out with the knife, and I'm like, then he'd step forward and back up. It was all more like suicide by cop.
He threw rocks at the officer first. He threw rocks. The 911 call said the 911 operator asked him, what are you armed? Are you armed? He's like, paused. I've got some rocks and a knife.
Found some good skipping rocks.
Yeah. And so the officer got there, and he started throwing rocks at him, pulled the knife, and started following
like 10 feet away, then backed up to pull the knife. I think he just wanted to get killed.
Suicide by cop?
Yeah. And he got hit, and shit got real. Oh!
He decided maybe made a mistake.
Maybe I don't want to die. And then he just laid there and let him handcuff. And
this hurts a lot more than I thought it would.
Yeah.
So I got a random question for you guys.
Okay. By the way, viewer questions, huh?
What?
Oh,
we got.
I don't know. I've got a couple.
Oh,
okay. We're gonna do a couple.
Let's
this
start
time.
with yours first.
Well, go ahead with your
get your question in.
Okay, just my question.
Huh?
So, since we got a law enforcement guy in the room too, so I hear a lot of people in class. We talk about when to use your firearm, and I always use the example of someone kicks open your door. What are you going to do? So, it probably just depends a lot on if you got kids, if you're married, what's going on. But would any of you guys actually, if you had a safe place to be already, and you didn't have to go get to your kids or your loved ones across the house, and they were all kind of right there, would you guys go in and try to clear your house, saying you didn't have any training or anything like that? And I'm looking at you.
Wait a minute. I don't understand.
Would you go in and try to clear your house? If someone was in your house, would you go through and try to clear your house?
Somebody's in your house. You're not in it. You're coming home.
Or you're in the back bedroom. You're trying to, you want to go through the living room, trying to see who's in there. You heard some noise, let's say.
Probably would. Because too many times I probably would, because I would try and be ready and say, hey, something's going on, but I'd be afraid a tree limb fell against my door or something, and I'm jumping up and running. So I kind of want to make sure that it's something.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What about you, Mark? I'm skipping you for a reason.
Well,
no offense.
I'd like to say that I would, if my family was safe and we were in a safe place, like you just said, I would probably stay there and defend myself from that position. But I'd like to say that, given the time or given the situation, I might not.
So I'm going to tell you what.
There's a lot of variables there.
I'm going to tell you what I think I should do, and then I'm going to tell you what I do. Does that make sense?
You sweep your house, clear it, cutting the pie around all your doors.
I freaking do. So I want to tell people not to do it.
Yeah.
If your family's with you and you don't have to go across you know what I'm saying? If my daughter's across the house and her bedroom's, in a weird house and it's like separated, I'll probably do it because I'm going to go check on her and see how she is.
Yeah.
But if I can, what are you looking at?
A spider.
What?
Awesome. So, but I think that if someone's already in, even though I know my house, if someone's already in my house, they have the freaking advantage. They just got to wait for you.
I'm not going to sit and wait till I hear a gunshot to say, yeah, maybe I need to get out.
Well, but they just have to wait for you. If I've got a phone, which everyone's got a cell phone, and I got my family, but to be honest with you, what happens, and it hasn't happened for a while, but if I hear some noise, I know it's not a branch, or something weird, I can't. Yeah, I'll get my gun and I'll walk through the house. I just do. That's just. So is that right or wrong? I mean, is that dangerous?
It's dangerous, but you know the risk you take.
It's dangerous, but like in my wife's case, when the guys showed up at the house and one was doing push-ups on the front,
whoa, back up.
So weird.
You got to tell this story now. Can you tell this story?
Yeah. I was working at Napa at the time, and so I got a phone call from my wife, and she's saying, "Hey, there's a couple guys here and one of them's doing push-ups on the front steps, and the other guy's off like messing with an old swing set that was laying outside.
Is this an apartment, a house?
No, out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And so, yeah. So what she did was, once, you know, I got her to call the cops instead of calling me, you know, she did exactly what I wanted her to. She held up in the back room with her gun and the kid. I wouldn't want her going out there. No way. Because she does not have the training to handle somebody if they tried to grab the gun from her.
I don't think if they were outside, I don't think I'm going to go outside.
No,
either.
she wouldn't go outside.
I'm going to stay in the house.
If I can see them out there, no, I'm going to sit there and call the cops and wait. If they try and come in, yeah. But I wouldn't want my wife or child or anything to do that anyway, because I'm willing to take the risk, but I ain't willing for them to take the risk.
Yeah.
So,
but you got to think too, if you had your child and your wife there, and I'm talking to Tarver right now. And I know what I end up doing, because you just kind of go with it if it happens. But you also got to think too, if you were to step outside, if you were to go to the living room, if you were to get shot, shot, then who's there to protect your wife?
Well,
and
that could be a diversion too, draw you out.
Very well could be.
And somebody shoots you from the side, and then everybody. No, if they're outside, I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna keep an eye on them. I have my gun in my hand.
Don't you touch my scout.
I'm gonna have a gun in everybody's hand. And call 911 and just wait. Try and get a picture of them.
That's great.
Yeah. Hey, fellas. Don't you come up to this door, because I'm not going. That's too strange.
He's over there. I'll shoot by him so you can see where he is. So anyhow, that's just a thought I had. I was thinking about it the other day, because I know what I tell people, and then I know what I tell them I do, and then I'm like, I really don't do that. I don't. It's the protector part of you kind of kicks in. It's like, I'm going to go clear my freaking house. I'm going to go check doors. I'm going to look, in the bathroom. I'm going to freaking open the shower curtains.
I'm going to. But like I said, if I sit there and hear a noise, do I just sit and wait until I hear a gunshot? I mean, I'm going out. If I do get shot, my son's old enough now. He's hopefully, don't shoot me, son. Hopefully he'll hit straight. I need to bring him to you and get him with class.
Here's another one. What if you come home and your front door's open?
You don't go in.
Do not go inside.
Don't go in unless you.
I'm calling my family right then. Where you at?
Yeah, the only time that I would go in is if I knew that my wife and kids
were inside,
or someone I loved or whatever was inside. I'd probably call law enforcement first, and then I'd head in.
Yeah.
Regardless of what law enforcement told me, I'd freaking head in.
Yeah.
I have no problems doing that. But if I know that there's no one there, I'm not going to go in.
Yeah.
I'm already outside. I'm in a safe spot. No one's going to get killed. What are they going to do? Take a TV? I can replace the TV.
Yeah, if my family's in there, I'm going in. If they're not, I'm going to wait outside, because I know there's a few guns in there.
Yeah.
That they probably got a hold of by now. I'm not going in there. All right, well, here's another scenario since we're doing these.
Sure.
You got a neighbor close by, close neighborhood. Woman screaming and hollering. Ah!
It's a good scream.
Well, that's what you hear.
Send chills up my spine.
And it's bad enough you dial 911. It's like, hey, this is getting ugly. And it takes them a while to show up. Do you go over there? What do?
You hear that?
How long? Wait a minute now. I know everybody's like, you just wait on them and stay outside.
I didn't say that.
Right, what if it turns into 20 minutes?
What if the screaming stops?
What if it gets louder and things start breaking? At what point do you say, I'm going in there? Interesting scenario.
That is an interesting scenario. And that, to be honest with you, I don't know if I can get.
I'll tell you what.
I don't know if I could give you a straight answer, because it just depends. That's one of those judgment calls that has to be made in the moment.
Yeah.
You got to know everything. Once again, my thoughts always go to my family. So
suspected drug use. You thinking, hey, there's some
what's
weird
going
shit
on?
Is
this we got weird stuff going on there all the time?
History
or
of
is
drug use.
Not normal. Is my wife and my kids home? So if I leave here and cause problems, you know what I'm saying? Is something going to come back over here to my house? Is it worth it? Do I like them? I mean,
you could still end up living next to him for quite a while.
Yeah,
right.
Well, and you really think this woman's getting hurt? Now you don't know how bad she's getting hurt. Now
you just don't know.
There's some situations where people do this on every Tuesday night, and they make up every Wednesday morning, and that's their routine. but they've lived there for 6 months, and this has never happened. And the male had a history of drug use that got off drugs, and now this is happening. And what do you
This
do?
really happened
This really happened.
to you?
Yeah.
Well, tell us. What did you do? I could tell it really happened because you're getting awful detailed.
Well,
over there.
I'm adding more and more to it. It's like, at what point do you say I got to go in there? Well, it was in Riverside, California, Riverside County. It was in Paris, California, in Riverside County. Called the sheriff, and I'm like, hey, it's getting a little spooky over here. Y'all come on out here. We got some domestic violence going on. I don't know. I was sitting around. Took maybe a minute, 2 minutes. I called him back. I'm like, hey, where y'all at, man? Maybe a minute. I don't know. It's times when you're hyped up like that, you don't know. And we're on the way. We got 2 cars. And heard another scream. And I called him back last time. I said, look, I don't want to catch a charge, but I'm going over there. Y'all taking too long. I'm going to put a stop to this
Someone's
shit.
going to die.
Yeah, I'm going to put a stop to it. I said, don't shoot me. And they said, just wait 1 second. And the cars pulled up, and I saw the lights, and I said, okay, they're there. And it was cool because I saw the neighbor the next day, and he thought another neighbor called. I'm like, man, that's terrible. Nah, it was me, man.
So and it's just one of the things, caught up in the moment. I mean, and how bad are they screaming? How loud are they screaming?
Well, in my mind, it's like,
They were killing her.
yeah, all right. Hey, that ain't a scream. Ah, okay. Y'all knock it off. Keep on screaming. Stuff starts breaking. Hey, man.
You're right. Something's going on over
Yeah,
there.
and I'm not coming to play with you. Because
So you asked me, this kind of been our conversation. What would you do, Mark, if that was you? Would you go in?
Well, I've kind of been in that same situation, not at my house or in my neighborhood, but up camping.
I lived the boring life.
camping.
Yeah, up
It
camping.
happens a lot.
Good grief.
Yeah.
In tents or
In tents,
RVs?
yeah. No, I was in a tent, and
Just throw a match at them.
it was well, I was up there, like I got up there a day early to kind of get our camp spot, and there's some people that had camped downstream, like downriver from us, and it was probably, I don't know, I didn't look at the time, but it was pitch black out, and had to be pretty late at night. But I heard the gal start screaming, and she was yelling at the guy and just all kinds of hysterical, and she was trying to make her way up to the road. And I climbed out of my tent, and, you know, got the gun. I had my gun obviously with me, but I grabbed the flashlight and started shining it down towards their camp. And I don't know what had happened. She never came up to, you know,
She never came up to the road?
never came up to the road, never came up to the campsite. He was telling her to calm down and all this other stuff, but she was screaming, you know. I don't know. I mean, they just went on from there, stopped, everything kind of calmed down, and the next morning they pretty much packed up and left. So, but
Interesting.
I mean, I shined the light down there, so they knew I was there. You know,
Right.
They knew I was there from the get go because I was there before they got there. But
So what were you going to head down, or are you just trying
I wasn't going to head down there, but I was hoping that she would, like, if she
Come
was going
toward the
to
light or
run, I was, you know, she could run towards the
Sure.
light, you know,
Gotcha.
to let her know that I was there. You know, I don't know what the severity of it was or anything. So
You never know, man. It might just be people having too much to drink.
I think that's a lot of what it was I'm sure they were drinking, you know.
Sure.
So.
I had one of those recently in Twin. All of a sudden, his truck's outside my house, and I'm like, I hear
What kind of
some lady-
neighborhoods are these guys living in?
South Park.
Yeah.
No, I'm not even kidding.
South Park, yeah, it's got.
Is that what they call it, South Park?
It's old school term, but yeah.
Okay, well,
Over by the labor camp.
why is this lady out there on the sidewalk? It's freezing cold, and she's making noise, and his truck pulls up, and he's trying to get her in the truck, man, whatever. And then my dog starts barking. I'm like, so look out and see what's going on. Check my cameras and see what's out. And this guy's putting her in the truck, and I'm like, better be gentle there, brother. And I'm walking outside, coming down the sidewalk, and I'm like standing right at you, and everything was kind of calm. And they went back down the road just a little ways. But I'm like, you feel fun. You might get in something that ain't nothing. Then you involved in it, and guess who knows where I live?
Yeah. But you also got to do whatever your conscience tells you to too. I mean, everyone's got a certain level of an involvement that they feel comfortable with. And
she was. Well, I went out there when she started making noise and was arguing and stuff. Then I went out and she fell down and she was trashed. And I'm like, lady, just go home.
So, law enforcement view. You knew I was coming to you, right? You're like the odd man out here a little bit.
Well,
what would you get mad at us for going in and doing something like that? It just depends.
Yeah,
right?
I understand everybody's opinions.
Right.
And I get it, because it would be hard before, even when I wasn't in law enforcement, to not go over and see what's going on.
Sure.
Because you want to help people out. You know,
Right.
I mean, most people are pretty good natured, you know, but from a law enforcement, it would be hard to tell somebody to go do that. I wouldn't advise
and we would
that,
never
you know?
expect.
Good grief, no way.
We'd never expect law enforcement to tell us that. We're just telling you.
Distracted by a comment.
We're just.
But so if you get there on scene and somebody else is already trying to de-escalate the situation,
Now I'm trying to
it's
see.
hard for you.
You're trying to see who's who.
It's hard
Who's
for
who.
you to determine who's who.
Yes.
So.
A lot-
Police show up on the scene, my hands are empty and visible to them, and I'm stepping back and being calm.
So I can see from a law enforcement
It's not me.
aspect,
Yeah.
it's not easy for the officer to determine. You know, you're making it almost worse in some respects.
Sometimes a set of eyes watching a situation before I get there, and my dispatch is relaying all that information to me, helps
Right.
out immensely.
Well, and then they're a witness.
where are people going? You know, and
So
what
what
are
about
people
this?
doing?
This is a what if thing.
Mhm.
So if we thought it was, Tarver thought it was taking too long on his situation. So if he would have called back and said, look, well, he did call back. He's like, I'm going in. I'm going in. I'm jeans and I've got a red shirt on. I'm wearing a purple hat. Wonderful outfit. But he kind of I'm going over. And he went in. At least you guys know what to look for. Is that
Oh yeah, descriptors are huge.
Right.
And like I said, a set of eyes telling us who's wailing on who's
Right.
what's going on.
I'm live streaming it to Facebook. Check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, you're not friends? Oh, dang it. Well,
Friend me quick. I'm sorry.
Well, it was, I was going to go and face whatever consequences was there. I mean, it's
Right.
like, look, I'm just not going to allow this to happen. And
And that happens a lot more than what you think.
yeah,
Happens a lot. People get involved.
Yeah.
and about within a couple of weeks, I was like, y'all need to get out of here. Get out of my neighborhood.
So, okay. You got some questions, Mr. Mark?
we have a couple questions.
Ask
I'll
away.
get to Zane's question first. He posted
Okay.
one on the comment feed here.
Sure.
He wants to know what we think about the Maxim 9.
Maximum 9.
Is it worth the $1,200?
No.
Isn't that thing with a big square on the front?
Yeah, it's a silencer co. It's integrally suppressed.
Sure.
Oh, okay. I
So
didn't know
you're
what
going
it
to
was.
be obviously part of the $1,200 is
The suppressor.
the suppressor, and I don't know if it includes a tax stamp or not because you're going to
doubt
have to
it.
get a tax stamp for it.
Right.
I'd just buy a Glock.
I agree. I would just buy a Glock.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Oh, shit, they're teaming up on us, man.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, for $1,200 with a suppressor,
So that's
it's
like
probably,
an extra long gun then, right?
It's a big, like,
it's
it looks like a
probably
2x4.
worth it, but
That's cool, but why would you?
it just depends. I
it'd
would rather be
safe
able
clean. It'd be a
to.
range toy. How you can be able to holster that?
Well,
son
and
of
it,
a-
for that much money, I would rather just get a threaded
Well.
barrel Glock with a separate suppressor. Then I could take the suppressor off if I wanted to.
Plus, then you got to find a holster for a 2x4.
So
yeah.
That'd be kind of. That thing is ugly.
If you get
No
it, bring
offense,
it. I
but
want to be the first one to shoot
kinda-
it.
So in Zane's
Kinda
in
different
response to
looking.
Zane's question, I would say yes, it's worth it, but I think there's better options.
Well, hang on. And I'm
you
going to
go.
answer him like this: yes, it's worth it, but you gotta know why you're getting it.
Yeah, I mean, if you just want a cool gun,
Cool gun,
yeah,
no
heck
one else
yeah.
has. You can afford it. You want to buy it. You
It
want
looks
to
like
play
a
with
ray
it.
gun.
No.
Yeah, I mean, get it if that's what you're looking for. Get it.
I've bought lots of guns that are crazy looking. I mean, but I bought them for shooting,
you knew
just
what you
having
were
fun.
getting.
Yeah.
What do you think, Tarver?
I have a silence co, the big can for the 45.
Right.
And if you buy that can, you can buy the adapters that go in the back, and you can change the caliber to any caliber. You're going to have a lot more options, and
there
you
you go.
can take it off.
And you can do multiple guns.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're not stuck with just one gun for that, or one suppressor for that one gun. Just get a regular suppressor and put it on multiple
How much
guns.
is that suppressor?
I don't remember. It was $1,000 and then
So you buy that though. So you buy $1,200. You only got the one gun. So you buy this suppressor with all the different interchangeable things. Like you said,
yeah.
you're spending just as much, if not a little less. And like you said, you can put it on.
The way I look at it
guns.
is an average suppressor cost is probably around $700. That's average.
Yeah.
It's been so long. I'm guessing
So-
maybe it was $1,000 with the tax.
So
I
then
don't
you got
remember.
another $500
With the
in the
stamp.
gun, for the
Right.
gun, so $1,200.
No.
I mean, I still think it's a bit steep, but
I bought some
there's other
expensive
other
guns.
options you can have more
'cause I
fun
want
with. I
them.
think.
Well, you got so many more options when you buy the can separate. You can change out that to fit multiple different calibers. You can put it on multiple different guns, and you have the option of taking it off.
Yeah.
And on that one, you don't have that option.
Right.
So
So I would say no, it's not worth it.
Hey, are those coming in 9 or multiple various calibers?
Well,
That one's a
maximum
9.
9. I'm sure it's a 9,
9.
probably.
And personally, I don't like the way they look.
Yeah, they look kind of futuristic ray gun style look. I don't know. Anyway,
Well, okay,
So,
moving on.
moving on.
All right,
Another
thanks
question.
for the question, Zane.
This question came today, actually.
From who? Shane?
Shane.
Buy a Glock.
No. He was actually
You aren't allowed back anymore.
he was inquiring on which is the best type of personal defense ammo.
Oh yes.
So like brand and all that stuff. I know very few people, but everybody that I do know probably leans towards the Federal Hydroshocks.
Right.
That's my personal choice. That's what I recommended to him, but
So, whatever you get, and I'm going to throw this out there. That's. I got nothing wrong with that choice. There's nothing wrong at all. But make sure whatever you test your gun out, because one
Right.
gun may not run those.
yeah,
ones.
you're gonna make sure
Yeah.
they
Gun
cycle.
is going to be finicky, and I tell everyone this whole thing's an investment. If you're going to invest in carrying a firearm, get rounds that you know are going to work, and spend some money, do some research. You can probably cut down some of your research or some of your money spending as far as buying different types of ammo by kind of looking on the line to see what other people have had luck with. You buy a box, you run through a box in your gun, and I'm not talking just one shot at a time. I mean, rapid fire that stuff. Make sure your gun is going to eat
Cycle
that,
it,
is going to
yeah.
cycle it, it's going to function. If you can get through it, then go buy some more and carry it. But plan on buying probably 2 boxes.
And train with it occasionally.
yeah.
Don't just shoot full metal jackets at the range. Throw a couple of those hot ones in it because they
Yeah,
shoot
it
different.
gets expensive, but just don't do it every day. I mean,
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes, if you have your self-defense rounds and, let's say you're shooting that gun at the range and you over time you rechamber and unchamber that, like the top round, you'll eventually start to get a little bit of setback on it, and you need to shoot it and get it out of there anyway before you start racking your pressures up through the roof, because you're setting that bullet back over and over and over and over again. And it does happen.
Yeah.
And
So-
then okay, go ahead.
What's out there for good self-defense ammo
It's
now?
I picked up
ridiculous
some-
some of the stuff they got out
Some
there.
Grizzly the other day.
There's a lot of like stuff you haven't heard of that's actually pretty good. Like,
Right.
I've never heard of Grizzly, but I'm sure there's actually certain parts to it that are
Okay,
Sure.
what is Grizzly?
probably like the brand or whatever.
Yeah, it's the brand.
Oh,
Yeah.
So the Spirit Gold Dot's a thing anymore?
Yeah, they're still out there.
I think the
There's the
Hydroshock's
new
pretty popular.
ARX or APX or whatever they call it. It's a frangible ammunition.
Right.
There's
is that
that
the one
stuff.
that's got the solid core and
It's
No,
kind of like a
it's
cage.
It's rip.
It's a,
I
Yeah,
got
that's
some
the
of
rip.
those. I'm like, that looks insane. I'll buy it.
I think you should just load up with some Dragon's Breath in your 12 gauge and just
There
be
you
good.
go.
Some flechette rounds.
Yeah.
So there's a wide variety. Just be careful and don't always fall for the gimmick.
Right. There's
Okay.
SIG makes some good ones. There's Hornady makes good ones. The Critical Defense are good.
Right.
I think Barnes X even has some out
Barnes
now.
X, yeah. There's XTP bullets. Hornady XTPs are good.
Sure.
There's
So-
a ton of them. Yeah, just make sure they work in your firearm.
Right.
And grab any of them, a Corbon or anything. Just go get some nice.
Get some good stuff. Be
Yeah.
willing to spend some money on it, because that's what it's going to take.
Yeah,
So here's another.
you'll
another
notice
question.
it when you purchase it.
Carrying a concealed firearm with the same magazine in all the time.
Did he ask that too?
No, but this is one that I've
Okay.
been asked before. Your magazine's loaded. You carry it. You never shoot it. I mean, you're always keeping that one magazine loaded with your personal defense rounds. Should you rotate your ammo? and give your magazine spring a break.
I do.
I got
Okay,
an answer.
so I do too.
Yeah, I do.
I've got an answer, and we'll see if this is what I've been taught, and I've never seen any harm. Okay, anymore. I think the metallurgy and all that good stuff has come so far that you're going to be fine. You're not going to get. I don't think you're going to get spring fatigue, nothing like that. Because all my magazines, I've never had any problems with them. I've had some loaded for a long time. Now, back in the early days,
In the 70s,
when they had poor metal, poor whatever, it would develop a memory and it would stay compressed or it wouldn't.
and you have one round.
Pow! That's right.
And they just sit there.
But nowadays the modern metal style metals and new stuff, it's come so far. I think the technology has advanced so much. I think you're going to be okay.
You probably are, and you're probably
never had a
right.
problem.
It's kind of a habit that I rotated
There's
out
nothing wrong with that.
I used to do that,
about every 3 months.
And I got lazy, and I'm like, what the?
About every 3 months, I rotate my ammo, and then I put that mag away for a little while and bring in a new mag and load it back up. So
let me throw this out there. So one thing you should do, if anyone's carried a gun for a long time, a lot of people will clean their firearms religiously. Nothing wrong with that. Everyone should clean their firearms. I don't, but everyone else should. Have you ever popped your magazine out, unloaded it, and actually taken your magazine apart and looked what gets in there?
I have not.
The lint,
Gets
the
pretty
dust
gritty.
bunnies, the nastiness that gets in there is absolutely amazing.
that is part of cleaning your gun, by the way, for me, is you clean your mags as well.
Well, I don't even clean my gun, so. But you should clean your mags because they get a lot of stuff.
They do
build
up a lot of stuff in them.
They do,
And then the bottom pops off of them, and your spring goes flying. And,
Oh, that was a class. You could explain that one today.
we
still don't know how it happened.
I still don't know what happened, but
Wait, it just happened at the range?
at the
Somebody
class
taking
today.
their mag apart?
No, they
It
were
flew
shooting.
apart.
They were shooting.
Great.
It was
What
a
kind of mag was it?
Browning Buckmark, which you think is a really good quality.
Right.
Yeah, it's a 22, but she's shooting along, and pretty soon just pow.
The back end of the magazine goes flying
the whole
off,
bottom of the
spring
floor plate
shoots
comes
out.
completely off. It's laying on the ground. The spring goes flying.
Was there any type of floor plate like extension, or
No.
it was just a stock?
We
It was
could
you could see the bottom of the floor plate. It
We're
said,
not
like,
quite sure
22
how
long
it-
rifle only or something.
We're not even quite sure how it attached.
Yeah, I mean, I started looking at it, and I'm like, I think there's some pieces missing here because it wouldn't go back in. No matter how you.
Yeah,
tried.
you'd slide it in and push out.
So
Or
what
almost
you're
like
saying is
maybe
don't
the
get the bug mark. Right?
metal should
That's
be
what I'm
crimped.
saying.
Get a Glock.
I think it's an older gun. It'd probably been around a little while.
I hope so.
That same lady, that same gal had a really cool revolver. She had an early. In fact, Mark took some pictures of it.
Oh,
It was a Smith & Wesson Airweight. It was like early
It's a
on, like
model
really?
12-12.
yeah, 38 special
Or
Airweight.
12-2.
Her dad carried it when he was in law enforcement in Miami
Wow.
back in like the 1960s. It was freaking cool.
Oh, so he shot somebody with it then.
It probably. It was actually.
It was battle worn pretty.
It was
good.
battle.
That was the
worn,
cocaine there. That was the cocaine era, man. If he was in the 60s, 70s, 80s, that's when it started coming in.
yeah,
Yeah, Miami was a ghost town till that showed up. Anyway, what caliber was it?
38 special.
Ooh, is she selling it?
No, she had it in like a little wooden case.
Oh,
She inherited it, so I think her dad might have passed away not too
okay.
long ago. But it was really cool, man. It had
Yeah.
one of the grip was like the skinny grip. It was real narrow. It was cool looking. It was pretty slick.
So I have a question.
Sure.
So been trying to stock up on ammo.
Yes.
Has anybody had any information or input on shooting steel case or aluminum case rounds?
All goes bang, buddy.
Sure do.
yeah.
Have no. I mean,
I've
I've
never
had,
had
I've
any
had
problems.
people tell me exactly that. Shoot it, go for it, buy it.
So-
and I've had people say no, never.
There's a thing called it's called the Glock swell. The chamber on the Glocks don't like aluminum casings. I don't know why, they just don't. As far as
Oh,
steel cased ammo,
So it gets jammed in there all the time.
a lot of steel cased ammo is got the mystique of being Russian or like
It
wolf.
usually
Oh yeah,
is
wolf.
what I got.
That's what I shoot
stuff
from
like that.
SKS.
So
yeah.
wolf ammo, it's all dirty. It is
It'll shoot
very dirty.
this
It'll shoot,
Real
but it
dirty.
is very dirty.
Well, is that just the man? I mean, the case
a lot of
doesn't.
it's the manufacturer,
But it's cheap.
But I
dirt
did
cheap.
get some of the Winchester forged. 9mm. I've noticed that there are a few of my guns that don't like it. So,
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard both sides. Sort of people say, "Oh yeah, shoot it, no problem." Some people say, "No, don't shoot that." I'm trying to get people's opinions because it's like
Yeah.
14, 15 cents a round because it's dirty. Everybody says dirty,
It's
but
filthy.
The Winchester stuff I found isn't dirty. It's just the steel casings for some reason don't cycle well.
they're all saying it's hard on your chamber and hard on your guns, and it's like I only
the aluminum.
shoot it through.
I stay away from the aluminum.
But there's a thing called the Glock bulge.
Yeah, it's a Glock swell.
The Glock swell. So that's not just the guys that carry the Glocks that stick the socks in there.
No, they stick
Never
their
mind.
chest out and puff up and stuff.
Maybe stick the sock in there.
No. Okay. But it's actually a thing.
That's EDC everyday carry.
Everyday carry. That's my 365.
Okay, well, I was curious on everybody's opinions because that was
No, I've never.
because it's
shot a-
like 14, 15 cents a round.
It
Like,
is
it's
cheap.
Okay, without saying it on the freaking podcast, because I don't need
use it.
everyone and their dog running. You know that I told you the other day on the phone.
Mhm.
You can get it for that much.
For
You used to
practice,
be able to
I'd
get
use it all day
Remand
long.
ammo for 14, 15 cents a round.
Is that the ones with the weird colored tips? Because I've seen some.
I'll show you. I got
Remand-
some in my closet. I'll show you.
I'm curious because I want to stock up.
I just picked up some 500 rounds of Blazer brass for 12 cents a round.
I got a rebate
You're
on
extra
some 40.
special though, dude.
I've got some 40 in Blazer brass, and there was a rebate on it during Christmas. And I stocked up on 40, but I want to get some 9. I'm just trying to find the best
I'll
deal.
show you that. I'll show you what I got. So, okay. Any other questions? Or we?
I think that was I think we have some more, but I think we'll save them.
We'll save them till the next podcast. We got a bunch. We just kind of group them all together. But I will say this.
A little busy.
I will say this. We freaking screwed up again.
Oh,
We never give our contact info at the beginning.
Did you ever give the shout out?
Oh,
we need to do the shout out. Yep.
Shout out to
We
Dirty South.
got to quit being so busy and
Freak, man.
get all this
Horrible.
stuff written down.
I wrote it down too. Where did I write it down?
We're horrible. We had some lists. You keep talking. You talk. I'll look it up.
It was we had some listeners down in Georgia that were telling us that we do a pretty good job. We try to do the best
Except for
job
we
possible.
forget everything.
Thanks for
forget
the
everything.
feedback.
Thanks for the feedback. We enjoy
it is good.
feedback.
It is good
We want
feedback.
feedback. Lots of feedback.
It is Dirty South
Firearms
Supply.
You can find them on Facebook. They are located out of Griffin, Georgia. Check out his Facebook page. Go over, give it a like. Never hurts to give another Facebook page a like when they got pictures of knives and guns, and they do reviews, and he does a blog. Check it out. I'm looking for the guy's name. I don't know. I can't find it.
It
Horrible.
was,
Just keep going, man. I'll find it.
anyway, if you'd like to get in touch with us, yeah,
Professional.
if you'd like to get in touch with our unorganized selves, you can call us at the podcast hotline. You'll have to leave a message. The number is 1208-696-4397. You can also email us, which is probably the easiest way to go, at patriotdefense13@yahoo.com. Check out the website for future classes coming up. Probably be some t-shirts on there eventually too. patriotdefense13.com. As always, share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, word of mouth, anything you can get us out there, get more listeners. We love doing this stuff.
Do your part, folks.
So we need you to love us as well.
So that's Aaron Darby from Dirty South Firearms Supply over in Georgia. Like I said, find his Facebook page, give it a like. If you talk to him, message him. I'm sure he'll answer you. He'll respond to you. Tell him Patriot Defense sent you. And check out, he's got some pretty cool stuff on there. He writes some blogs. Check them all out. And just show him some love.
Yeah, if you're in the area, he's our recommended
So
dealer.
recommended. So anyhow, thanks for giving us a shout out, Aaron. We appreciate it, and we kind of tried to return the favor. I'm not quite sure how successful we were.
He got a good
We're
plug.
horrible.
We
got a good plug.
Freaking tried.
We're so we
Anyhow,
space off too much.
we gotta figure this out, folks. No more Boudin balls. We're all high on the Boudin.
It'll do it. It'll do it, man.
So until then, I think we're out of here.
Bye.
Bye.